Y'all come on in here. I know y'all ain't doing nothing else. I'm gonna put my little hat on. Y'all ain't doing nothing else. It ain't like y'all went to church. I know y'all ain't went to church, so you may as well. Okay, fly. Don't fly your butt over here no more. I know y'all ain't going to church, so you might as well come on up in here. Let me turn this down. I just want to tell y'all what happened last night when we went to the little restaurant. Tell y'all how much fun we had. I got the same shirt on today I had on yesterday. Probably. Who cares? I'm at home. It don't matter. Like that. I need to be out here. It is hot out here. It's muggy. Because they saying it's gonna rain tomorrow. I guess we gonna it's 79 degrees. The smoke I showed Dolores A Smoke on Facebook. Dolores, you be out here showing the smoke. So it's 79 degrees. Well, it's gonna be in the high 80s today. It feel like it. It definitely feels like it. It's real muggy. So if a storm is coming, it feels like it's coming. We may get the tail end of who is it, Hillary? We might get the tail end and some of the. They say we ain't gonna get no wind, but we may get a little bit of rain, and it is kind of, I don't know, it's clouds in the sky, but that don't mean nothing because it'll be cloudy here and won't nothing happen. So yesterday was my birthday dinner, so we went to a Brazilian steakhouse. This was the first time me and my husband had went to a Brazilian steakhouse. My son had already been. He hadn't been to this particular one that we went to, but I guess they all have the same theme or whatever. Operate kind of the same way, where they bring the food to your table. They give you like this little card. It's red and green. So it's green while you want meat, and you can flip it over when you've had enough to eat. So, we had it on green, and when I tell you that they was bringing meat, they brought so much meat, like sirloin steak, flank steak, this steak, that. I mean, it was. I hadn't even heard of all these different cuts of meat that they were bringing, and um, shrimp, chicken hearts. I didn't even know people ate chicken hearts, but they had chicken hearts. They had lamb. They had all kind of stuff. I mean, they had so much meat. I'm this type of person. A whole lot of food kind of turns me up. I don't know. I'm a weirdo when it comes to just seeing a whole lot of food. It just does something to me, and it kind of takes my appetite. If I only see a little bit of food, I'm okay. But when I just see too much food, it just takes my appetite. And it was so much food. And it was like every time they came to the table, they were like, flank steak. My husband was like, yes. I mean, everything, reindeer, my husband was like, yes. Chocolate shoestrings, my husband was like, yes. I mean, he tried almost everything. And I'm the type of person that I'm not really a trier. I don't really like to try stuff that I don't, because I'm really weird about texture and stuff. If it's a weird texture, then I get, mm-mm. And I didn't like the lamb. The only thing that I didn't like was the lamb. And it was kind of the texture and the taste because it tastes kind of like peppermint to me or something. I don't know. It was like this minty kind of flavor, and I didn't really like it. That was the only thing that I tasted that I didn't really like. Everything else was really good. The pork ribs were real good. I'm like, whoever is in that kitchen, whoever's back there in that kitchen know what they doing. Because it's the type of restaurant where they have the meat on these skewer things, these big things, and they give you tongs. So when they slice the meat, you grab it with a tongue and put it on your plate. Child, we was doing some eating. We ate so much that when I got home last night, and I kept it cute. When he would come over, I was like, just give me a little piece. You know, I didn't want no like big whole slice of meat. Just give me a small piece because I wanted to try different things and I didn't want to get too full. And I know I get full really quick. Like I have IBS and my stomach don't be playing with a whole lot of food. I know I get full quick. Cause when I go out to normal restaurants, I always have to have a to-go box because I don't eat a whole lot. Like my stomach don't want to process a whole lot of food at one time, and I think that was part of my problem, is that I did kind of eat a little more than what I normally would because you can't get no to-go box. You got to eat it. Gizmo's hair is everywhere. And I just pulled out one of my eyelashes. One thing I've noticed is I'm losing my eyelashes. I think when you get older, your eyelashes be like, all right then, because I don't have half, and they don't seem to be growing. Like my eyelashes are so tiny. I've always had small eyelashes, but they look even smaller now. It's like after 55, my eyelashes was like, I'm gone, girl. I'm gonna have to ask my doctor, is that normal? But I did look it up and it was mostly like, it said people who have thyroid issues normally lose their eyelashes or something. I don't know. But anyway, I digress. I ate so much food. And the fun part was at the end because they do sing to you. They do come over and sing the happy birthday. Oh my God, it was so many people there last night having a birthday. Almost everybody in the room that we were in was having a birthday. Oh, excuse me. I act like I ain't getting no sleep. And so I had for my birthday choice, like they give you a choice on the menu what they'll bring out to you as your birthday treat for free. And then they have one thing that you have to pay for half price if you want it, and that was that flaming cheesecake. And I wasn't gonna get it because I had saw somebody else do it, and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna do that. And my husband was like, yeah, do it, do it. So then I got the flaming cheesecake, And what they do is they heat up, they put some brandy in a brandy snifter, the brandy glass, and then they set it on fire to heat it up. They set it on fire and then roll it around in the glass and then pour that hot. Oh, thank you, Matt. Then they pour that hot brandy on top of the cheesecake. Is hot flaming, so the brandy is on fire. So they pour that on top of the cheesecake and it's still flaming up, and then they sprinkle cinnamon on it. And when they sprinkle cinnamon on it, it poof, the blaze, it makes the blaze kind of flash up. So they do that, I was like jumping and stuff. And after it stops blazing up, they just put it on the table. And when they put it on the table, the brandy is still flaming a little bit. It still got some flames. And me, this was the first time I had ever seen that. I was like, I'm pushing the plate away from me because this plate is on fire. The brandy was still on fire. And I was like, is it still supposed to be, is it still supposed to be on fire? And my husband was like, I guess it's going to go out. And it did. It died. The flames died out. So after the flames die out, I wanted to taste it. Oh, it was so good. I was really surprised. It was so good. The cinnamon, I guess, had kind of cooked in that hot brandy, and it gave the cheesecake a kind of, if you dipped it in that brandy, it gave the cheesecake a kind of spicy aftertaste. So you got sweet. There is another gizmo here somewhere. So you got sweet from the cheesecake and spicy from the brandy and cinnamon. Like, you could still taste the brandy. And of course you could taste the cinnamon because it was cinnamon everywhere. It was such a interesting, flavorful, full of flavor. Like, I was really surprised. It was really good. But it was it was the heavier cheesecake. It was the New York style cheesecake. I don't think it would have really worked out with a softer cheesecake. I'm pretty sure that brandy would have, made it kind of wet. But this New York style cheesecake, which is a thicker, heavier cheesecake, really stood up to that brandy because the bottom of the plate was full of brandy. It was good though. Like, it was really worth the I think if you get it and it's not your birthday, it's $20 for the flaming cheesecake. But if it's your birthday, you can get it for 10. It was well worth the $10. It was really nice. Like, I really enjoyed that. Then I get home and see that that's a thing, I guess, at all of the Brazilian steakhouses, because when I looked on TikTok, there was a whole hashtag for flaming cheesecake. And then I, kind of looked at how some of the other restaurants do it. They all do it basically the same way, but some of them didn't have the big flame with the cinnamon like the one that we went to did. They just set the brandy on fire and then pour that flaming brandy over the cheesecake and then don't add any cinnamon. But it was good with the cinnamon, and the cinnamon added an extra effect to the whole flaming situation. And the one thing that I like is you can tell that the person who was in control of the fire was very conscious of, everybody around her, because the room that we were in, it seemed like the air conditioning was turned up really high. But the city that we went to, it was really warm. I'm pretty sure it, if it wasn't in the 90s, it was in the very high 80s. It stays pretty warm in Concord. So, and the place was packed. So it did seem like they had the air conditioning up a little high. So she was very conscious of that fire and the flames and stuff. And I, really appreciated that because she made sure she backed away from the table. She wasn't that close to us and stuff with the fire. And I mean, it was done very, but you know me, I'm looking around and I'm like, okay, y'all playing around with fire and I don't see a fire extinguisher anywhere. I was like, okay, I am an older person because I have a very rational mind when it comes to stuff like that. Because, they are performing this fire trick a lot all over this whole restaurant, because we were in one room and it's glass. You can look out and see what's going on in the other rooms and stuff. And I see them doing it out there too. So I'm saying y'all got to have a fire extinguisher somewhere. There has to be a plan in place in case something happens. I don't know why my mind goes to that, but it does. Like when I go to places, my mind will scan the exits and everything. So, that was like in the back of my mind, okay, do they have a fire extinguisher, or, is this woman far enough away from us so that these um, flames don't get out of hand? It's a cute little parlor trick, but, it's still fire. And I'm not one to really play around with fire or water. Them two things. Hey, Vanity, them two things that I don't really play around with is fire and water. I don't mess with either one of them. Them the elements that I don't deal with. Fire and water. I'm not a I'm not a water child. I don't mess around with water and I don't mess around with fire like that. But it was cute. It was good. I really wasn't expecting it to taste that good. I'm not sure what type of brandy this was. Like they wasn't messing around with no E&J. It looked like some type of maybe Brazilian brandy because it looked like a brand that I had never seen before. I should have asked him what type it was because the brandy seemed like it was kind of sweet. Would it have had to be like a cooking brandy or something? I don't know. For them to set it on fire like that. I don't know what it was, but whatever it was, it had a really good flavor. It paired really well with that cheesecake, with the sweet and that brandy together, and that cinnamon, because I guess cooking cinnamon makes it a little spicy, or setting it on fire like that makes it a little spicy. Like it had a little spicy, sweet thing going on that was really good. So if you have the opportunity to go to a Brazilian steakhouse, do it. Even if you only do it one time, do it because it was a really, really good experience. Like I give that a 10 out of 10. Like if I was to rate that experience, I would definitely get, and I need to start doing my Yelp reviews. Okay, butterfly. I need to start doing my Yelp reviews because I would definitely give that restaurant a 10 out of 10. The service was great. I mean, you barely had an opportunity. You never got an opportunity, like your plate was never empty. Somebody was constantly, the servers with the meat are constantly walking around, like you didn't have to be like, gosh, they ain't even bringing out no food. No, they were bringing food. The meat people was walking around with the meat the whole entire time. Like it got to a point where we just tapped out and was like, don't come back over here. I don't want to see no more meat. Like I don't want no more meat for days. I had just told my husband, I said, today needs to be a high fiber day. We need to go to the grocery store and get like some celery and broccoli and stuff to eat just to force um that meat out. I didn't eat half as much as my husband and my son did. Like they was tearing, my husband was tearing that meat up. I don't see how he was eating all that stuff. He tasted he tasted almost everything that they brought out. And I was really upset because they brought the salmon out almost they brought the salmon out last, and my husband had just tapped out at that point and he loved salmon. Like we didn't even know that they had salmon. And that's the thing, like they don't have like a list of all of the different meats and stuff. They just bringing meat to the table. You don't know what it is until they come over and they're like flank steak, and sirloin, and I don't know. It was so many different cuts of meat. They even had chicken hearts. I was like, people eat that? My husband said it was good. He said it just had a weird texture. Cause I wasn't trying that. My husband and my son tried the chicken hearts. I wasn't doing that. Cause they was only about that big. They were, little bitty pieces of cooked meat. I'm pretty sure it was seasoned or whatever. But I didn't want to eat a chicken heart. That was the only what I would consider weird um, thing that they came out with was the chicken hearts. They had sirloin steak wrapped in bacon, and then pieces of chicken wrapped in bacon. It was good. It was different. It was good though. They just had all kind of stuff. Carne asada. They had a lot of different. Um, I wonder, do they tell you if I look it up? Do they tell you how many meats? Gosh, this phone look like it's trying to get hot. Let me see. Okay, so it's 14 signature cuts of steak, pork, chicken, lamb, and shrimp. So I'm pretty sure I didn't have 14. I didn't even get close to 14. But I had a lot. It was a lot of stuff. It's getting hot out here. It was a lot of different. Oh, okay. So let me see. What, what is it? So is rump cut. That was one of the meats. It's the animal's hind quarter. So it's a rump cut sirloin cap. It's the bottom sirloin, similar to flank steak. And then the top sirloin, ribeye. I remember when he came out with the ribeye. And the ribs, so I did have the ribs. I remember that. Oh, I didn't get the filet mignon because I definitely would have got some of that because I like filet mignon. I had tapped out after a while. Oh, and I didn't get any sausage. They have sausage, pork. I didn't get any pork either. Pork loin. I got the lamb. That was the one thing that I didn't like. Chicken. Some type of Portuguese chicken. Beef hump. I don't think we got that. That's a lot of meat, y'all. If you are a meat eater, if you love meat and you're really a meat eater, and I forgot to tell you guys, they do have a buffet. They have a buffet also. It's not just, you're not just sitting there eating meat with nothing else. So they have a buffet and they had like different salads and different breads. What else? I think they had a soup bar. They had a bar where you could, order drinks and stuff. So you go to the buffet and you get whatever you want to go with your meats. You go to the buffet for your side dishes. They had vegetables too. They had broccoli, string beans, broccolini. I love broccolini. Um, and I think some fruits and stuff too. They had some different things up there. But I'm gonna tell you this: if you want to taste all of the different meats, don't go for the don't go for the buffet because you're gonna get full off of the buffet food, and you're not going to have an opportunity to. Ooh, that's a beautiful blue jay. You're not going to. Oh my God, he is so beautiful. You're not going to have an opportunity. Let me see if y'all can see him. You probably ain't gonna be able to see him. See him right there? Oh, he gone. He like, I ain't gonna let y'all see me. God Damn it, did I lose y'all? Okay. Um, don't fill up the on the buffet. You're not going to, oh, I don't know, y'all. You're not going to have enough room to try all of the different um, meats. It was a really, really good experience. If you want to try something different, and if you are a meat eater, you're going to love this. If you like to try different types of meat, different cuts of meat, you're really going to love this. And my husband was like, okay, we got to try one of the other places because there are a few of these Brazilian steakhouses in, um, I know they're everywhere, but there are a few different ones here in the Bay Area. There's one in San Francisco, and my son said the one in San Francisco is a little more bougie and kind of upscale, and that's the one that he went to. And he said, usually people kind of dress up at that one. So I'm like, okay, well, we may have to go to that one and check that one out. Plus, my sister-in-law said that the one in San Francisco is the one that she really likes to go to. She hasn't been to this one in Concord. I wish I had gotten some video of them when they come to the table and slice the meat off. But you know how sometimes I'm not in the mindset of being a YouTuber, and I know that that's part of the whole thing. Like, you got to get pictures and you got to, but I be having so much, just like spending time with my husband and my son. It was, just our time to just sit around and laugh and eat and stuff. And I really didn't pull out the camera until um, the flaming cheesecake part, because of course I wanted to get that on film. And as a matter of fact, I want to put that on my shorts, but I got to figure out how to slide down to the part.
Hakeem Jones.
Hold on, y'all. Hello. Yeah. Yeah. Nothing. Where you at? Oh, well, come on. Okay, bye. Okay, I'm finna go, y'all, to the birthday cake because we cut the cake last night, and for some reason the Wi-Fi is acting up. I don't know if my husband is doing something to the Wi-Fi, but I might be back after he leave. So that was him calling saying he on his way. So I will see you guys. I might see you guys later on this evening when it cools off a little bit because it is hot out here. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you so much for all the birthday wishes. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.